and blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up to about the 40. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And the giant rush gets home as down he goes.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin him back. New York set to take the field. Things are starting to move in the right direction. They get the touchdown last drive, then their defense gets them the football back.
Yeah, now they have a chance to get the lead if they can put something together here. And I'm eager to see how they decide to do it. Do they want to be methodical, or do they want to take the big strike and go after it right now?
They begin with a run by Barkley. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Throwing Jones to Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a first down. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play. But what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
Now a play fake here on first down. Buying time to his left. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Trying to erase that deficit all at once. One big shot. He took it. Unfortunately for him, incomplete.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Here's Jones to throw again. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That's on the guard, Kevin Zeitler, first-round pick back in 2012. Now after the holding call, here's 2nd and 20. Again, he'll drop to throw. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do, and it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make sure you throw it up there. You know, kind of like put up on the top shelf where the kids can't get it.
The pitch goes to Barkley. It's big Vince Williams who made the tackle.
We've called a lot of games, but we don't normally talk about inside linebackers being that fleet of foot, do we?
No, he was able to get outside there to make that play.
Yeah, and you know what makes them faster? Their ability to read plays, understand what offenses are trying to do, and put themselves in proper position.
Jones now to throw on second down. And this one is incomplete.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. To throw on third down, Jones. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So without making excuses, you have to figure that this rain has had an impact now on both of his missed field goals.
It's one of those situations really difficult to practice for and tough to prepare yourself against. It's just a whole different animal kicking in the rain, and we've really seen him struggle.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on second down. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. And the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down.
Now let's go. Green.
They'll drop to throw. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
And the key number on that play, 3. Third play of the drive, third down, spectacular catch, turns into a first down.
First down saves him from a 3 and out.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. And he's got this down to the 35. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Now let's go.
Now a handoff looking right. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. And now the Giants, they get the officials' attention and take another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. And they'll go on the ground. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up 4th down. The Giants going to burn their 3rd and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. They'll put it down right at the 40, so call this a 50-yard attempt. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And that will push the lead up to 5. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. New York set to take the field. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he can't hang on to it. That would have sealed it. Instead, 2nd down. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does. And in the second quarter, he may very well run by him. But in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
He's back to throw. Throw left side, complete to Moss. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. They'll look to throw. Over the middle, he's got his tight end Ingram. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. And a nice gain of 21 yards. He'll look to throw. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. The linebacker, T.J. Watt, there on the coverage. He has had a great game defensively. He's been east-west, north-south, everywhere.
Yeah, and I love how you described that, because to be a great defender, you have to be able to move up and back, sideline to sideline, and he's been fantastic. Reminds me of a young Charles Davis when he was playing Madden.
Absolutely. Oh, wow. I thought you were going on the field, but okay, I see you. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
319. 319. Gun, gun. Gun, gun.
Back to throw. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39. Detroit. Detroit.
On 3rd down, Jones got his man on the comebacker. It's Cummings. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. One final shot. They'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught. It's caught, and they've won the football game.
Brandon, you know I love boxing, right? You know I love big fights, right? I had given them the standing 8 count a few times along the way. And look at how this one ended.
Yeah, they had, well, I guess 9 lives, just like a cat, kept fighting, and they're in the end making the huge play to get the game winner.
I guess that's the epitome of you always have a puncher's chance.
We still have to try the extra point, so this is not a done deal yet. PAT up and good by Rosas. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain.